Hi, Michael. Just wondering what the approach is going into a game like this, knowing that the Bledisloe is not available after you put so much effort into getting it back.
Yeah, it took us a while to get out of the hole, to be fair. I know I can speak for myself. It's pretty dark. It's still a bit dark, around letting that opportunity slip, and particularly the performance that we put out there last week, which wasn't up to the standard that we've set for ourselves. How do we prepare? Well, there's obviously, I talk about being in that hole, rectifying some of that stuff last week and improving. We're into a new beginning here, a new journey with this team, and wanting to improve, and become the team that we think we can become. We know we can become, is of huge importance and value to us. On top of that, we've got that huge milestone of James Slipper's 100th game. A real team favourite here for us, and it's been a really enjoyable week preparing. Accordingly for us to bounce back for that performance, and also for him at Suncorp.
Michael, obviously, no one likes losing, but after a loss of that magnitude, how long does it take you personally to get over that and re-gather?
I don't know. I'm not going to give you a hour by hour count. Mate, it's going to hurt. Like, it's going to be ones that, you think about. I think after the career, about a missed opportunity. We put a lot into that. There's only so long you can be dark before you got to move on and start thinking about, how you can turn that stuff around. So, you got to take the negatives and some of the positives in that game, which the negatives far outweighed the positives there, and start to move forward. That's what we have to do, and that's what we had to do this week. But it's not going to be one you forget about quickly.
Brisbane has been a reasonably happy hunting ground for the Wallabies of late. Like, what is it about Brisbane that brings out the best in the Wallabies?
It's hard to put into words. Love playing there. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling you get about playing in some places. And Suncorp, certainly that for a Wallaby outfit. Been a part of some really good games up there and watched a lot of really good games up there. So there's a lot of confidence around this team, and going up there tomorrow to get the job done.
I think you're on mute there, Jules.
Sorry?
Yeah, just go again. You're just on mute for the first bit of that.
Oh, sorry, mate. The margin in each game has been widening. It was last week's sort of blowout a reflection? Was last week's result a reflection, do you think, of the gap between the teams, or do you feel honestly that you're closer than what that was?
I feel we're closer. Absolutely, no question in my mind. Look, New Zealand played really well in the game on the weekend. We played poorly. Like in any game of sport, anything, that happens. One team's gonna look fantastic, and they did, and credit to them for that, for really putting together a big performance in a clutch game there. So that was tip of the hat to them. We are much better. We improve our stuff. We'll put a lot more pressure on New Zealand, and that'll change. I think we saw that in the first game. Makes for a much more even contest, a contest that could have gone either way in the end. But certainly, we've got to focus on ourselves. And when we focus on ourselves, that puts the pressure on New Zealand, and puts the magnifying glass on, both teams' rugby. And then it's see how it all falls at the end of the day.
The team, the selection of the team has changed from week to week. And sort of a few selections sort of catch us by surprise. Do you get consulted much? Are you getting much of a say in who's on the paddock?
Oh, there's a panel that does selection. So they come up with the plans. I'm certainly consulted on it. And sort of let into what the coaches and the selectors are thinking. and go from there. But yeah, I mean, there's been some really good opportunities for players this week to put their name out, and even some experience with Hodgie at 10. A guy like Lockie who gets his shot at number 6 here this week. So it's a really exciting team for mine. And what a place to do it at.
Coach, how do you manage the younger guys, particularly after the last week? They could be scarred from a game like that, but how do you, like Noah, how do you sort of help him through a week like that?
Oh, look, we went into the game, he is a confident player. There's no doubt. So he knows he can do better. And we all know we can do better. So, his feelings, I'm sure, just echoed the team's sentiments there. That's the beauty about being young. You're hungry. You're dying to get back out there, which I know he certainly is. But look, there's a reason to why our performance was as it was, and we got to understand why that happens, and then move forward with it. And that's I guess we got to help each other out there as teams and as coaching staff to the team, and vice versa.
How's the week been for Reece Hodgson moving into the 10 jersey?
Yeah, he's been good. He's fit in there well. He's got a lot of experience. He's played a lot of games, albeit, many at 10. He's actually trained there at 10 a fair bit over the course of the year. So it's not just out of the blue selection. He has been in and around that environment. I know he's played there at club level a fair bit. So look, he's really solid in that position. Got a great boot, good game awareness. And he's a big body in that spot there. So looking forward to seeing what he brings in the number 10 jersey, which is an awesome jersey to be putting on.
Hoops, it's been a bit of a... Sorry, mate. It's been a bit of a revolving door in the 6 jersey, particularly off the bench. What are you hoping Lockie Swinton can bring?
Lockie's got a history of being very physical, bringing a real aggression to the game. And that's what, he's been picked for. So, however he can get into doing that against New Zealand, I'm excited to see it. I know he's absolutely chomping at the bit to get out there. That's why he's been picked, and that's what he needs to deliver on.
And the young side, how important is it to get the momentum leading into a couple of last tests of the year against Argentina?
Yeah, we've been working hard. We've been working hard together now for 6 weeks. And, we haven't been able to notch up a W yet. And it's a reward that, I think this team deserves for the hard work and the attitude and the application that they've all put in. So we're as keen as ever. We can't wait to fly up there tomorrow. It's a bit of a different test than what any of us are used to. With the fly in, fly out. Luckily, some of us have had that in Super Rugby this year. So a little bit of a challenge there. But like I said earlier, awesome Suncorp. That we get to go up there and play this game there.
What changes with Hodgie there in the 10, like in terms of his style of play? Do you think, how will he look different?
He's a bigger frame. So bigger frame in defence. He's got a huge boot on him. That can look, sometimes it will look clunky, but he's very effective in and around that, and, there's bound to be some things that happen there, both good and, some work-ons there as the game goes on, as he, hasn't played 10 at this level. And we're really cool with that. He's trained really well. He's got a really good head around, what he wants to call, and being vocal and demanding, demanding around his game and what he expects of the rest of us. So, it's time to press go on that tomorrow night.
Do you see him as a legitimate option there permanently? Or ideally, he plays well and you can keep the same blokes in these key positions rather than.
You just dropped out at the end there, but tell me if I'm. Yeah, look, I think it's a great opportunity for him, and we'll know more tomorrow night. He's been waiting in the wings there in this position. Like I said, it's not uncommon to have him train there, so we'll know more after tomorrow night.
Could I just ask you a bit more about Lockie? Obviously, a close teammate at club level, he's rise, but also trying to find that balance between his obvious aggression and not giving away cheap penalties at the same time. Yeah,
it's a growth for his game, a growth that he's aware of. you know, and it's like all of us, we have points of our game that we need to improve, and Lockie's no different. You know, he's, you know, very green. This is really only his second year of super, proper second year of super. You know, so he's green and around that. So he's a growing player, but one with huge potential. You know, huge potential, and something potentially that you know, New Zealand haven't seen before in a Wallaby jersey.
Tim Horan spoke today. He thought he rounds out this back row perfectly. What are your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, look, I'm pumped for Lockie. I've played with him a lot now. I'm really enjoy what he brings to a game, and the energy, the excitement, and the aggression. You know, it's enjoyable to play with. You know, so I'm excited for him tomorrow night. It's a great reward. The guy trains hard. He's a really great guy around. You know, probably something that you don't see through the aggression on the field. He's a really great guy around the team. Do anything for his teammates. So everyone was really excited for Lockie.
And Hoots, just with Hodgie, at what stage did you realise and know that James OConnor wasn't going to play? And has he trained the entire week in that 10 jersey?
Look, there's guys have been folding in and out from early on in the week, so this hasn't been a surprise thing. Look, I think the decision was made in around Tuesday that it was going to happen. So we've had plenty of time to prepare. And even before that, there was some chopping and changing in around running certain reps and stuff like that. So we're comfortable with where it's at.